You're welcome to Teach with me. I am Miss Jen. Today we are going to be making the next letter, which is the letter M in our ongoing series A to Z Directed Draw. Today we are making a mouse, and we are going to be doing the guided writing that goes along with it. We write 3 sentences that go along with whatever letter of the week that we do. And so you'll need a felt tip pen, printer paper, and crayons. Let's begin. Now, first thing you want to do is make sure your kids have their papers turned horizontally and use the correct language when you tell them that. Then what we're going to do is I'm going to sort of orient them to where we are starting. Remember, the papers have to be landscape because we're making a book, and that's why we kind of want them all to be the same. Anyway, I want the kids to find the top left corner. So I'm going to ask them to put their fingers where they think the top left corner is. And then I'm going to tell them we are going to make an oval, a slanted oval. That means it's not going to go like this, it's not going to go like this, it's going to go like this. And so I'm going to do one. My sample will be on the board, and then they'll watch me do this. I'm going to say the slanted oval kind of has to be kind of big because this is a mouse's head and we're making a large mouse, but you need to leave room on the top. So this is sort of a weird oval, but it'll work. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and make my mouse nose. I'm going to tell them find the bottom of that oval, and I'm going to make a color in a circle, and then I'm going to make my whiskers, 3 on each side, 3 lines that come out on either side of that nose. And then I'm going to tell them come over to the right a little bit, put your finger there, and then we're going to make a curved line that goes in a little bit. And then we're going to take that line and go over to the opposite side, and right about where a straight line from where our mouth is, like if I go here and I come up there to the opposite side, I'm going to make another circle and color it in. And then what I'm going to do is make the ears next. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to be making 2 large ears that touch each other. Those large ears, the first one's going to kind of go off the page a little bit. Let me show you. You're going to come here a little bit past the eye, and you're going to tell the boys and girls, we're going to make a curved line that goes to the edge of the page. And then I'm going to tell them we're going to come probably to the middle of that oval, and we're going to make a curved line, but it's going to go the opposite way. And then right next to it, we're going to make another one that touches this ear. So watch. I'm going to make a curved line. It's going to touch this ear. And then I'm going to go over here and do the same thing. And now I've got 2 ears. And now inside I'm going to make a rainbow shape. Okay, now the next thing I'm going to do is the body. So the body of our mouse is going to start right behind the mouth, and I'm going to make a large curved line that goes almost to the bottom, but not all the way to the bottom. And then I'm going to go to right below the second ear, and I'm going to make a curved line that goes the opposite way. And it goes to almost the bottom. Now I'm going to draw kind of a horizontal line that goes across the bottom here. It can be slightly curved if you want it to. And we're going to draw the feet. The feet are going to be little ovals. One on the left side, one on the right side, and I'm going to put 3 little toes in there. Then I'm going to make the arms. So up here near the top of the mouse, below the head, I'm going to make a little partial oval that starts here. It's going to touch the body, it's going to come out and touch the body again, put some little paws or nails on there, and then I'm going to come to this side. It's going to start on this side, and it's going to look like this, the same shape, but it's not going to come out. That way it looks like the arms are on either side of the body. Now we're going to do the tail. The tail is going to start down here. A mouse tail can be as long as its whole body. We're going to make our mouse tail go up and curve, kind of like the letter S. And then when you have that, we're going to curve it all the way back down. We're making a skinny tail, not a fat tail. Okay, now we're still not done. Now we're going to make sort of a horizon line because we're going to put in the background a mouse hole. Anyway, so watch please. We are not drawing our line across the mouse, but we are going to make them stop whenever they come to an object. And now I'll draw it all the way to the end. And then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to draw a rainbow shape. And that's going to be my mouse hole. Now let me show you how I colored it. My mouse, I used my blue shading crayon, of course, to color my background. I have a green shading crayon. I use that to color my grass. I use black to color the mouse hole, gray for the mouse, and then pink for the ears. All right, and that is it. So the mouse is pretty easy, and the kids can do this, and it's super cute. So now we're on to the writing. Now for the writing, we follow the same pattern every time. And we are on letter M now. We've done A through M now. And so I'm starting to tie together all of these things that I've been teaching the entire time. So let me give you an example. Our first sentence is always the same frame. M is for mouse, so it was L for ladybugs, it'll be N for nest. It's always the same frame. So they're all going to copy this on here. Then they'll copy their blue sentence. I do them in different colors or color coded so that it's easier for the boys and girls to look at the board and find their spot. Mice have useful whiskers. And then the third one is, did you know they eat 15 to 20 times a day? It's a question. The entire time we're writing, we're looking at punctuation. We're making sure they're writing their letters correctly. We're making sure they are putting their, I think I said spacing, they're spelling their words correctly, so that means they're looking here. And they're using the correct formats for their sentences. So if they still have room on this line, they'll start that sentence on this line. All right, so let me show you. I'm going to do it how I would teach it. Now eventually, and I haven't mentioned this yet, but towards the end of the year, I begin to give them choices on their sentences. I'll have more than one choice, more than one blue sentence and more than one red sentence, and they get to choose which one they want to put on their paper. So, but that's for another day. We haven't done that yet. I don't do that till the very end of the year. Okay. M is for mouse. My first sentence, I'm going to say to them, boys and girls, we remember that our sentences always start with an uppercase letter. We're going to make sure we put our punctuation, and this usually goes really quickly by this point. And if they forget something, then we'll erase it because it's really important that they are doing it correctly. They will be writing in pencil because it needs, if there's a mistake, then we will erase it. Also, it doesn't get glued on to their paper for their final copy until it's been finished correctly. All right, when we get to this point, I'm going to say, oh, good job, you did your black sentence, you remembered your punctuation, perfect. Let's move on to the blue sentence now. So the blue sentence says, mice have useful whiskers. I'm going to say, look at my sample. We still have room here. We're going to start our sentence here like I did. Now, some kids write pretty big and they may actually run out of room, and if that's the case, then you're going to tell them to start where they have space. I'm going to say, okay, this is a new sentence, so it's going to start with an uppercase letter. Now, what you're going to find when you start doing this is you're going to have some kids who confuse the lines with the sentence. They're going to say, why does this have to be uppercase? I'm on the same sentence. And I'm going to say you're not on the same sentence because you ended your other sentence with a period, right? Now we're writing our blue sentence. That's another sentence. We have space here, so we're going to write it here. So it takes a little bit of talking initially for them to get used to this idea, but they get it pretty quickly. All right, I'm going to say, do you think I have room to write this word? I didn't on my sample. I'm going to say, you know what? I think I have space. I'm going to write it here. I don't want to go into the edge of the paper. I don't want to go over here, but I still had space on my line. All right, so that means now where am I going to go? Now at this point, I want them to understand that they go to the left. This is print awareness, and they need to start over here. I'm going to say, what word are we on? We wrote mice, we wrote have, now we're on this one, useful. So go ahead and write useful. Now at this point, you may have some boys and girls that try to capitalize this. Same reason, they're going to think it's the beginning of a new sentence. And so you have to watch that when you first start doing this to make sure they don't do that. So mice have useful finger space whiskers. I'm going to say, was that a new sentence or just a new line? And they do get this, you guys. By the end of kindergarten, your kids can independently write multiple sentences, which is a kindergarten standard in many places. Mice have useful whiskers, period. And then they have a little bit of a head start on first grade, because first grade, that's a big jump in standards from a few sentences to being able to write independent paragraphs. So this gives them a jump on that. All right. Did you know they eat 15 to 20 times a day? I'm going to say, good job. You did your whole blue sentence. You remembered your periods. You did not have any mistakes. Let's go on to the red sentence. We still have space. We still have time. Let's do that. Where is it going to start? Is it going to start here, or is it going to start here? Oops, I'm sorry. You can't see where I'm pointing. Is it going to start here, or is it going to start here? And so what we'll do is I'll make sure they know that they're going to start here. I'm going to say, is this a new sentence or a new line? They'll say new sentence. And then same thing. I'm still making sure that they are not confusing sentences with just the lines. Always use lined paper in kindergarten. They need it. Even if you have someone with pretty printing, and you do get those occasionally, you're still going to use these lined papers for them for a while. Well, for me, I used it throughout kindergarten. They could only write on unlined paper when we were having free time, and they wanted to draw or write something, because just like everything else, consistency, practice, and repetition are necessary for mastery. All right, so that is it. So that goes with my picture. I've already got these glued on together to the same thing, and once we're done with all of the alphabet, we are going to put them together. I hope you found that helpful. If you did, please like, subscribe, and share, and I will see you next time.